Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better life. Know that love and joy and peace is one and all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. Give minds the edge. Give minds. God give minds your energy. That's right. I'll give minds energy. Only you can make the change. I'll give minds. Share your energy. I'll give minds energy. Shine so bright from darkness to light. Hey, hey, hey. From darkness to light. Yeah. And you'll find your way out. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it won't seem way out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The power of God will flow through you from way out.
Welcome. This is Alchemizing Energy, and I am here today with a special show. And what we are going to be talking about today is how to date divinely. Okay. And we have a special guest, and I'm so excited. The owner of the Dating Divinely web site and mobile app, who is going to be discussing divine dating. And without further ado, let me welcome to the stage Olusoga Aralola.
Uh,
Olusoga, say that three times. Olusoga
Olusoga
Aralola.
Aralola, and the website is it should be divinedate.com.
Oh, I'm sorry, Divine Date. My
Yes,
bad.
divinespace-date.com. And
DivineDate.com. Sorry,
there's
guys.
yes, the divine-date.com. Correct.
Right. So my bad, guys. You know what? I was thinking Dating Divinely about the title, and I just did it wrong. So the site is called DivineDate.com. So first of all, who are you, Olusoga Aralola? Who are you? Let's see who you are first, and why is the dating divinely important to you?
Okay, so my name is Olusoga Aralola. I've been married 19 years on June 10th. I am 39 years old. I got married when I was 20. Um, my wife and I met each other on a job. I met her on a Monday. We got our marriage license on that Wednesday. And by that Sunday, we were being married in a park. Uh,
What?
yes. So I didn't know her at all. Didn't
That's
know
a
about.
that is a story in itself that you got married with 3 days.
Yes, ma'am. So
Was y'all was in Las Vegas? Like, what was y'all like?
so when I met her, we hit it off, and we decided that we were going to get married. So on Wednesday, we got the marriage license. But in the state of Texas, you have to wait 3 days after receiving the license in order to actually go through with the ceremony. So we waited until Sunday of that same week, and we got married. We've been together 19 years. We've never broke up. Uh, I'm not a cheater. She's not a cheater. Those were some of our hard no's. No cheating, no beating. Um, I believe that
No
if
cheating and no beating. You know what I'm saying? Now, you guys were in your 20s when y'all had met. Do you think that that influenced how long your relationships have lasted?
I couldn't hear you, you broke up.
No, I was saying you were in your 20s, right, when you met each
Yes.
other. Do you think that that influences how long you guys have been together, like, and was able to like be able to marry so quickly and still stay together?
So I was exactly 20 years old. Um, I I think me personally, I tell this to my guy friends. When you marry someone that you genuinely like I didn't know her, so I was going straight off of phenotype. Um, I believe every man should get the type of woman he wants. Whatever woman you like, there's a country filled with them. So go get whatever you like. If you get what you like, if another beautiful woman walks past you, you're not opt to go and try to get her number or talk to her because you got exactly what you want. So I have my dime piece. To me, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever laid eyes on. So no matter what comes into my orbit or what walks past me, it doesn't matter because I got exactly what I want. So that's what I.
That's an So a lot of times, you know what? I'm realizing that I'm not on the right. Can't hear me. There we go.
Yes,
I wasn't on the right mic. Can you hear me better now?
yes.
Okay. So, dating with a purpose. So, do you feel that the man chooses the wife? Do you think that is an important thing that the man chooses who he wants to be with?
So I grew up with a father and a mother, and my dad raised me to find a wife. I was not raised to go and date around. My dad told me, "Boy, when you get of age, you go find you a good wife." I've always told a man that find a wife, find a good thing. Um, I believe that. When I met my wife asked me to marry her. Um, I was
What?
yes.
Man, there's so many surprises in this whole thing. Like, what? She
So
asked
I was
you to marry her.
so I'll give you the story. I worked
Okay,
at
go
this
ahead.
place. It was called Info NXX. So back in the day when you called 411 from your cell phone, you called a building in San Antonio, Texas. I worked at that building. Um, my wife saw me coming out of a training class on a Monday. I saw her as well. Um, we hung out on a break, and by the time lunch came around, I asked her if she wanted to get something to eat, and she said yes. We went to Jack in the Box and got tacos. I told her, "It's your world, baby. Just don't go over $2, because that's all I had." I was being serious. I was poor.
Right. I'm poor. I'm broke. Like, look, $2. Right? I got $2, a $2, the $2.
Yeah, so we went to lunch the next day. When I came into work, she was sitting outside. They had fired her because she had drank before she came to work. She was 21, so we were kids. I was 20, she was 21. So she said, "Hey, I just got fired, but if you want to hang out, call this number." So when I got off work, I called that number, and we were hanging out, and uh, we were talking about things we're fearful of, and at the time, as a 20-year-old guy, I mean, I had a lot of vibrato. I told her I wasn't afraid of anything. Um, then we somehow got on the subject of arranged marriages. And I told her I wasn't afraid of that either. She was like, "So you would marry somebody that you don't even know?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, prove it. Let's get married." I said, "Okay." So it was kind of a
What? That
yeah.
wow. You sure she
So
wasn't just drunk? I'm sorry, just joking.
on
I'm
the
just messing with you. She had been drinking earlier. I don't know. But
she
go
might have put spaghetti.
right. She had put some in the spaghetti and she had a little
uh,
liquid courage going on. She said, "You know what? Marry me now."
so
Wow. Like, so she knew that she knew what she wanted. I wish she was here. Where's she at?
she's upstairs. She's in her office upstairs. So
I hope to see her at some point during this whole conversation because I would love to like get her thing. This is because I believe in couples and I believe in marriage, and I think that people need to talk more about successful couples. You hear so much right now. You have this whole like this these dating people that are dating, and you hear like so much of like men like kind of dogging out women and this type of woman and this that you the hoe and this that the other. Calling women hoes and it's interesting. It's like, you know what? So, and then it's actually looked down upon for a woman to ask a man for marriage. You know what I'm saying? I think that was actually, a person that she knew what she wanted. She said what she wanted, and you obliged, and then now you guys have been together for 19 years, and y'all figured it out along the way. Let's hear more about the story.
yeah, so during the 19 years of being married, we didn't know each other, so we were learning each other, but we had enough sense to map out and write down what we would not accept from each other. And over the years, we've kept to that list. As stated, we don't cheat and we don't beat. Anything other than that, any minor disagreement or whatever, I mean, we get upset with each other because my wife grew up in Washington, D.C. I grew up in Louisiana. We speak two totally different language. Certain words that she used, I don't even know the meaning to. And
She called you a Bama yet? I'm sorry.
yeah, that
She
you
called you a Bama. You a Bama.
I didn't know how to take that one at first. That was one of the points of contention. However, when you love someone, if you know that you're hurting them, you'll stop whatever you're doing that's hurting them because you don't want to see them upset. So that works two ways. If I'm doing something that my wife does not agree with, let's just say if I'm spending too much time at the gym or hanging out away from the home, and my wife brings it to my attention, um, yes, as a guy, as a grown up, I could do what I want to do. But then when you come home and you look at the person you love and they look sad, that kind of breaks you down if you really care about that person. So I kind of, it's you bend to her and she'll bend to you because you guys love each other. So if you genuinely like the person you with and want to see them happy, then you won't do anything that you know that will hurt them. And that's just that's the core of our marriage. Whatever it is that we're going through, we'll talk it out because we don't want to hurt each other because we genuinely like each other.
So it's about genuinely liking each other. And over time, you built your relationship. You were 20 years old. Y'all got married within about 5, 6 days. Like what? About a week? How long was that? Like about
So from Monday to Sunday, so 6 days.
So after 6 days, you got married with her, and you guys got to know each other along the way.
Yes.
And then you were married. So like being able to break up was not an easy thing because now you're married, right?
And that was one of our discussion points before we actually got married. My wife looked at me and she said, "Look, if we get married, ain't no breaking up." I said, "That's the same way I feel. I mean, it is what it is."
So do you feel like she's your soulmate?
Yeah, I do.
Right. And you felt the spark. You knew, like, you know what? If she when she said yeah, like let's do it. And you was like, okay, let's go. And it's
Yes.
been all right. So let's discuss some of the like ups and downs of the relationship, like being married and in that dynamic. Some of the hurdles that you might have like came across.
I mean, we've gone through. So my wife is Mexican, and she's a fair-skinned Mexican lady. Coming from Louisiana, my family, wanted me to marry a black woman, and so she had to deal with racism from my family. Her family wanted her to marry a Mexican person, so I had to deal with racism from her family. Um, we've, I mean, we're friends though, so I mean, no matter what anyone else says, we got each other's back. We've gone through stillbirths. My wife had a stillbirth in 2018, which was very heavy on our family. But we're friends, so whatever comes up, we're gonna talk through it. We're gonna walk through it together. That's why the first thing that I stated when I started this conversation with you was, as a man, you have to pick the woman that you want. If you pick the one you want, you're gonna do whatever it takes to keep them. So,
Right, but did you pick her? Did she pick you? How much
well,
of that picking was her or you
I
or both?
well, so she says, she asked me to marry her. I did it in a heartbeat because, I mean, like I stated, she was the prettiest woman I had ever seen up until that point. Like I mean, I just was head over heels smitten by her. I'd have drank her bath water.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
So you just got to
I
get
wish I
somebody.
could bring her.
Like I
Where
tell,
where is she at? Can she come down here? You didn't y'all start
she's
this
upstairs
together?
working.
Oh, she's working. Okay. I was like, I want y'all.
Well, she
Okay.
no, she's working.
Okay.
Yeah, she's working.
I would love, yeah, because I was
So
like, man,
I
y'all started this whole
17-year-old.
thing together, and I was like, I thought it was a beautiful thing that a couple comes together doing business together. That's a big part of like
Yeah.
a lot of times people feel like they can't work together and stuff like that. But you guys have come together with something a great idea. But go ahead, what were you saying?
Well, I work from home. I'm in my home office right now. My wife works from home as well. She's upstairs in her home office, so we're always together. So ever since we've been together, we've always been together. That's just
Besties,
yeah.
twin. Y'all been twinning it the whole time. That's a beautiful story. I wish, man, you need to write a book on how to even sustain that, being able to work together, be around each other all the time. Do y'all get on each
Yeah.
other's nerves sometime, or did you guys find like an equilibrium
I
at
mean,
some point?
so we're in the house together, and sometimes I'll be doing things that I like to do. Sometimes she does things she likes to do. We'll be apart. I'm in my office, she's in hers. We're in the same house. Um, we come together and eat. Excuse me. We watch TV shows together. I mean, we work out together at times. She has a To be honest with you, her schedule is more hectic than mine. She works full time. Even though she works from home, she still works full time. She works for an accounting firm. She takes our son to school every morning. She cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Uh, she does my daughter's hair. Um, she taught my son to hit a baseball. She's like
Wow.
a superwoman. I mean, she's the best woman I've ever met, to be honest with you. And
Right. She seems like she's every woman, right?
yeah,
I'm every woman. Honey, she is doing it
even
all.
this date, I stated, even this dating app, I told her, I said, hey, we should, because a lot of people they come to us for counseling because of how we managed to keep things together for so long and not knowing each other. So I brought up to her, I said, we probably need to make a dating app. I mean, we can utilize the prompts, the hard nose that we had, and the questions that we asked each other, and we can utilize that on a dating app service to match people so they can find their divine date. Like I found mine and you found yours. And my wife created the app. She said okay, and just took off one day and created the app for me.
So, what inspired you, other than that, to create a divine date? What gap did you see in modern dating culture? Did you see any gaps? I mean, you said that you talk to people, you counsel couples, or counsel individuals on how to find the right person. What inspired you guys to create this?
So just being that we met each other and married in 1 week, and we've managed to hold it together for so long. Uh, um, I think in today's time where marriages don't last. I mean, people they get married today, and in 5 years they're probably going to be divorced. I felt that it was a need for me and my wife to, just give our testimony and to try to assist where we can. And as stated, when you sign up for divinedate.com, you'll be prompted to answer questions, and we'll match you with someone who's answered the questions the same as you have answered them. So if you're truthful in the way that you answer your questions, you should meet someone that is equally yoked with you, who is right there with you in your way of thinking. And as long as you guys are thinking in the same direction, then um, I mean the relationship shouldn't fail. As stated, if you like the person and the person likes you, and you guys think in the same way, then what could come between that?
So what? So when it comes to date, I know you've been married for like so long. But do but in your counseling, do you believe that people today are dating for love, loneliness, status, or survival? What do you think is the main thing that why what you see in the world?
So it just depends. I have a buddy. He at first he was dating just to date, just see how many women he can get. But as he got older, he wanted to settle down. And when he tried, when he would go on dates with women, he would meet on different dating apps or out in the world in public. Um, he told me that they were basically wanting money from him. Uh, they want him to pay his bills. He didn't even know them. Like first date, they need some help with their bills and things of that nature. So he started dating women overseas, like in Africa and different places. Um, Basically, from what I gather from these men, They're just looking for traditional women, a woman that is nurturing and um, just not after just their money.
Well, you know what? It's so crazy because now, like, I mean, you're right because I meet guys on Facebook and they all have the same story. They get on a date. The woman is like, "Hey, you know, they do a meal and they don't talk to the guy again, or they'll talk to
Yeah.
a guy and start asking them for money to for their bills." But I think that is like some of that prostitution kind of culture that's going on. Like these certain women are using men for money, and that's a real thing that's actually happening.
But on the flip side, most men I meet they're whores. Excuse my French. They're cheaters.
Let's get into it. Hey, wow! Someone finally admits it, but it takes a married man to be about that. Go ahead, talk about it.
I mean, so when speaking with guys that um, I know a lot, and I know a lot of men. I'm in different organizations, different fraternities, and these guys are, I'm not gonna say all because I'm a guy, but most guys that I've meet are cheaters. Just, I mean, but it's the same as most women that I meet are cheaters. Me personally, I
You
blame
meet
the
you
rap.
meet most women and men that are cheaters. Like,
Yeah, they're cheaters. Like, for instance, I blame the rap music with the rap culture and the guys. Back in the '90s, the guys were like Snoop Dogg. They don't love these hoes, and you couldn't give a woman money because that made you a trick, and you really just was supposed to dog them out. Like that's what I grew up under that culture in the '90s. As I grow into the 2000s and 2000 teens and 20s, uh, it's like the roles are reversed. You got like Cardi B and Sexy Red and all of these types of women who are they're championing sex culture and prostitution culture. And right now, just I mean, when I meet women that's gone on different dating apps, they state that they receive what 200 to 300 matches on a dating app, and they reach out to the guy just for a dinner. They're not looking to have a relationship with the guy. They just say one day, "I'm hungry. I want to eat over here. Let me reach out to this guy and get him to take me there and pay for it." That's prostitution culture. You're leading someone on. You're wanting them to do something for you, knowing that their feelings are involved, but you're playing on that just to get what you want out of the situation. I believe the women these days have become the men of the '90s.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm still dating. I'm old as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm about 48, almost 50. But I can actually read off a text that someone said that I met on a dating app. He says he asked me for a picture. I show him my picture, like my face, right?
Yeah,
He says, "Sexy, send me a more full body. Where the full body at? Where you stay at? When
yeah,
we gonna chill? Send me more pics. I'm gonna send you some." Then he sent me a picture of his penis.
yeah. That's crazy.
So how so how is divine dating? Okay, let's get into what does dating divinely actually mean to you? Because this is not divine at all. This is
No.
gutter snipe. So let's go.
So on Divine Date, um, this is the only dating website that we go into detail with the questionings as far as religion, because whatever religion that you pick, it tells us about what is taboo to you. Certain religions allow certain things that other religions don't. So we want to match you with someone that's based on your moral system dealing with your religion. So that's the first thing that separates us from the field. Um, when it comes to those penis pictures and things of that nature, there's a block button on our site. You can block whoever at any time and report them, and we'll remove them. We're basically trying to put people together and have them love on each other for long term. We do have certain tabs on the site because we're asking you exactly what you want. So if you don't want a long term relationship, well, you can click the tab for people who don't want long term relationships. Um, coming from an African spiritual background, um, I I was taught that there's no right or wrong. There's just choices and consequences. No, everyone does not think like you. So I am a monogamous guy with one woman. Some people don't live that type of lifestyle, and we have a section for them, but we want to separate them from the people who are not with that type of lifestyle. So we get into issues when you have a person who wants to be polygamous and that person's trying to date a monogamous person and trying to basically turn them into a polygamous person. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to put the polygamist with the polygamist. We're trying to put the quote unquote whores with the whores and the regular people with the regular people.
Right, the Muslims with the Muslims. That
Yeah.
I mean, does it have a thing for arranged marriage? Does it
Yes.
have a section to arrange a marriage and things like that for our Muslim and Hindu brothers and sisters out there?
So we have a tab for Hindu, we have a tab for Muslim. As far as arranged marriage, if you find someone on there, and you match with them and you like them and they like you, we hope that you guys get married. But we don't have an actual tab that we're like putting people together or anything of that nature. This is solely upon your doing and what you can manifest from within yourself. What you can pray to God, and God places in front of you, as God placed my wife in front of me. That's what divine dating is all about. We're about putting people together that are equally yoked, and have those people live out their destinies and the life that they choose to live. Um, when we don't want to mix and match and put people where they don't need to be. That's where problems arise. And over the years of being married to my wife and seeing friends and people that I know, they break up with their spouses and things of that nature. And when you ask them why, there's always some core belief or some core disagreement about a lifestyle that stops them from being able to connect in that intimate way. Um, from the beginning, if they would have been truthful with each other, then they would have been able to avoid the calamity of having a divorce.
Failed relationship, yeah.
Yeah.
And that leads into my next one. Why do you think that so many relationships fail before marriage even enters the conversation?
Um, so it and so again, I'm not. I can speak, from the outside looking in, but I've been married for 20 years, almost 19 years. I got married in 2007, before the age of social media. But from what I hear, um, with this whole social media rave at this time, and the lifestyle of being able to pick up your phone and jump on a dating app and have people message you all types of stuff, for some people who they don't have the discipline, or they may not be with the person that they want. I mean, people date all the time for different reasons. They might be you might have a guy dating a woman because she has a good job, or because he liked the way her body looked but her face was ugly. But then another woman might come by that got a pretty face and a pretty body, and he want to trade up. That's why the first thing I said was, get the woman that you want. Don't waste anybody's time. What's good for me may not be good for you, and what's good for you may not be good for me. But if you get exactly what you want, if you get the woman that you are head over heels with, when the next woman, the next pretty lady walks in front of you, you won't be looking at her because you're too occupied on what you're head over heels in love with.
So, what would you say the biggest mistakes that men and women are making in dating right now? What from male and then female? What I mean, you spoke of that they're like choosing based on appearance, but isn't that what dating apps are really all about? You first look at the person and then you decide whether you want to even choose them or not.
So when I say they're choosing based on appearance, for instance, So I got a buddy. He had a girlfriend, and she quote unquote had a nice, attractive body, but she was butt ugly in the face. But that's the woman he was with because that's the woman that he got for the time. But as soon as another woman that came by that showed him attention that looked a little bit better than that one that he had, he chose up and got the better looking one. What he should have done from the beginning was when the ugly lady with the nice body approached him, he should have told her, "Ma'am, you are not my type." Just been honest with her. We can be friends, but I don't want to be in a relationship with you. If he would have told her that when the pretty lady came by that he was genuinely attracted to, when she came by to speak with him, he wouldn't have had to break the other lady's heart. So when I say pick somebody that you like, not somebody that you're settling for. And if you can't find anybody in your general vicinity that you like, there's a whole world filled with people. And whatever phenotype you like, there's a country full of those people. Go get you one.
A country, exactly. So you have an international app. So this whole thing is like international.
International, yes.
So how can someone tell the difference between chemistry and true compatibility?
So chemistry is I like you, you like me, we find each other attractive. There's passion there because I like the way you look. General compatibility is we like the same things, we think the same way. So what Divine Dates lets you see the person. You already form an attraction to that person by looking at them. But on top of that, we match you up based on your belief system, your religion. What do you think about life? Different questions. Do you like children? Do you want children? How many children do you want? Things of that nature. We're not trying to get you in a relationship if you're a Muslim with a Christian and you want 10 kids and the Christian doesn't want any kids. That's a recipe for disaster. You might like the person might be pretty to you, might be attractive. Male, if you're a male, the female might be attractive. If you're a female, the male might be attractive. But because you're not compatible, it's not gonna last. When that um, the initial butterflies of a new relationship when they wear thin, you're left with what you are your compatibility ratio. And if it's not high, then the relationship's not gonna last. So
So
what we do is again we match you based on your compatibility, and you pick the person that you generally find attractive.
what role should faith and spirituality play in choosing a partner? And can a relationship survive if both partners are spiritually unequally yoked?
So I don't believe so, because you have core differences. Um, I may feel that it is not okay to cheat a beat based on my religion. You might be in a religion where it's okay to cheat and beat. And there's the dilemma. If we get into it, you're gonna beat on me and cheat on me. And then what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna let you do it, or I'm gonna have to leave you. I gotta leave you. So we're gonna break up.
That's straightforward. Okay. So what are some red flags people ignore because they are lonely or emotionally attached? And how important is healing before entering a new relationship?
So everyone needs to go on Google and Google narcissism and Google manipulative tactics of narcissist. If your partner that you're courting shows these signs, those are red flags. That self-centeredness, they cannot say they're sorry when they're actually in the wrong, and and it's obvious that they've just made a mistake, and they can't apologize for that. That's a red flag. You don't want to be locked into a relationship with a narcissist. It'll never fare out well. And you have to be engaged in a relationship with someone who is not. They may not. They may have their own baggage, but their baggage can't override the outside world's feelings. They have to have empathy for people around them. They can't be sociopaths. And those narcissistic tendencies that some men and women display makes them sociopaths.
But you know, another big thing now on top of narcissism is the avoidant attachment style. Are you aware of that?
No, what is that?
That is pretty much a person that has been traumatized in their life, and so therefore they are avoidant. And you have another person that's uh where she is where a woman or that other person might be more of there's an avoid attachment, and there's another attachment style. It's called it's a where they're more clingier. You know, they're more of a empath, so therefore they're more the opposite. And so those two people tend to attract each other. And so you have a person that's kind of chasing after the guy or the girl, but they're avoiding, like almost like a Pepe Le Pew kind of a situation, you know, where they're like chasing after this person, and that person like will leave and come back, leave and come back, leave and come back. And then there's like this whole like really nervous system breakdown of the other attachment style. So it's like a weird thing. So they talked about narcissism a lot, but this is another one that people don't even
Yes.
realize they're in the cycle of.
If somebody leaves, then they don't want to be with you. And I mean, you gotta have hard
Or
boundaries.
ghost you, like ghost you for a long period of time, like
Yeah, if someone ghosts you, if they come back later on, I mean, you should always forgive people, but you shouldn't fall into the same pit that you fell in before. If you know that this person is a serial ghoster, don't enter into a romantic relationship with that person because that person will ghost you.
yeah. So you never heard of the avoidant attachment style?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
This is some new stuff. It's anxious attachment and avoidant attachment.
Okay. Okay.
You've never heard of this? Wow,
I've never
that's
heard
great.
of it. My ear isn't to the street. Like I live in a rural area. I spend my days cutting grass and chopping wood for the fire.
Mm. Wow, you live. Oh, okay. You live in like in the woods somewhere,
Yes, ma'am. And that's another thing.
right?
Um, my wife and I, we do believe in gender roles. I know some people don't believe in that, but we do. It's not a forced type of thing. I mean, everything that me and my wife has implemented into our relationship, we came there through negotiation. So my wife cooks and cleans on the inside. I clean up the outside. I mow the lawn. We've got a few acres that I have to keep up. Um, I we have a river that runs through our backyard. So, during this time of year, there's snakes out there. If my wife goes outside and sees a snake, she's not trying to deal with it. She just calls me, and it's my duty to do something with that snake.
Right. So you
Uh,
guys have
so
clear male female roles.
yeah.
How
Um,
important is that in a relationship?
so everyone has a duty. No one's duty is better or worse than anyone else's duty. Um, as stated, my wife and I, we came to our current situation through negotiations. Uh, if my wife wants me to wash dishes, I'll ask her to mow the lawn. She doesn't want to mow the lawn, then I won't wash dishes. I'll go mow the lawn and she'll wash dishes. Uh,
Wow.
you
Interesting.
know, if my wife wants me to say fold laundry, I'll say, okay, well, I need to chop that wood outside. The axe is out there. You can go chop it. And she'll say, well, I don't want to chop wood. And I'll say, well, I don't want to fold laundry. How about you fold laundry and I chop wood? Okay. So
Right. So it's like like, hey, and do you think that being in rural living like allows that like kind of a dynamic, like not being citywide and
Yes. So in the city, everybody's basically doing the same stuff. There's no wood to chop. There's no snake to kill. Uh, so men and women do the same thing. Where I live is still old school. We're in the country, so uh, there's certain things that I am genetically disposed to doing better than her. And there's certain things that she can do better than me. You know, my wife is very intelligent. She's a smart woman. As I stated, she built this whole divine date out. You know, I asked her. I brought up the whole. I brought it up to her that we should, mentor people and start a dating app, and she built it. So my wife is very intelligent. Uh, out here in the country, there are animals out here. You might run into a hog outside. Yeah. So my wife has a husband that'll take care of that problem for her. If, like as I stated, if she goes outside and there's a copperhead on the steps or a rattlesnake, she's not going out there to deal with that. She's saying, "Hey, husband, come get this snake," and I go out there and I get it. I don't like to kill anything I don't eat, so I normally pick them up and put them in the river. Uh, when it's time to go and get meat, I go deer hunting. If we want fish, I go fishing. So I'm old school. I actually bring home the bacon and put it on the table, and my wife cooks it.
Wow, and so that actually reinforces the gender role that probably normally people living in the city probably would never even, because everybody's kind of doing the same thing, like you said.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
I want to show you guys. I want to show you this attachment thing, because I think it's a really interesting thing I like kind of ran across that, like, I'm like, wow. And I want to get your opinion on it. Go ahead. Let's.
That about 20% of the population have an anxious attachment style and fear losing the relationship. And about 25% of the population have a more avoidant attachment style and fear losing themselves. And these two people are very often in relationship with each other. My name's Ruthann. I'm a clinical psychologist and expert in relationships. And in this video, I'm going to give you practical strategies for how you and or your partner can begin to transform this very common relational conflict. And I'm interested, which side of this conflict do you most often find yourself on? Go ahead and let me know. You're probably hyper attuned to any little moments of disconnection or conflict in your relationship. And these moments of disconnection trigger your anxiety and your fear of losing the relationship. And they drive you to make little bids for connection. You may try to start a conversation with your partner or initiate physical contact or intimacy, even if your partner may be busy and engaged in other activities. Often these bids for connection are attempts to soothe your anxiety and to get reassurance that your partner loves and cares for you. But these are the very behaviors that are likely to activate the withdrawing or avoidant partner's fear of losing themselves in the relationship. If you're the withdrawing partner, you may perceive your partner's needs and requests for emotional support or their interruptions in your day as a source of irritation and a threat to your freedom. You may be concerned that their needs are going to be never ending and that they'll never be satisfied with what you give them. And this activates your anxiety about losing yourself in the relationship and can drive you to want to put distance between you and your partner. Maybe you ignore them or try to push them away. Or maybe you start to spend even less time with them in order to protect your freedom and your independence. Now, of course, these are the very behaviors that are likely to further activate the anxiety of the pursuing partner. And at this point, if you're the pursuing partner, you're likely extremely distressed and desperate for closeness with your partner. You may even accuse your partner of not caring for you in an attempt to get their attention and to take you seriously. But in turn, if you're the withdrawing partner, this escalation only feels like a further imposition and threat to your independence. And at this point, you may push your partner away or start accusing them of being irrational, overly sensitive, or far too needy. And I'm sure it's clear how this really escalates in a relationship. Now, at some point, either or both parties may realize that there's a real risk of losing the relationship here, and both may relent. If you're the
Right. So I wasn't going to play the whole thing. I wanted to, like, what do you think about that? That this is like something that exists right now.
Well, it's I mean it's understandable when your population is getting older and they're not married, they've lived by themselves. So let's say if I've never married and now I'm 40, I'm about to be 40. I've never married. I've never lived with a woman. I've lived by myself and dated. So now that I'm 40 and so I want to get serious in a relationship, it's kind of hard for me to do that when I've been my own man since I left my mom and dad's house. Um, as you grow older, it'll be hard for you to get a roommate. I mean, it's like it's common sense. If I've lived by myself for the last 30, 40 years, and now I'm being forced, well, not being forced, but now I'm seeking to live with someone else, their idiosyncrasies are uh going to upset me at times because I'm just not used to it. I'm used to doing what I want to do when I want to do it. And in a relationship, you can't do that. In a relationship, in a marriage, I'm speaking about marriage. In a marriage, you're selfless. You give yourself up for your spouse. If and that's vice versa. So if I want to go and eat a steak tonight, but my wife says no, I don't want to eat steak. I want to eat chicken. I'll say okay, let's eat chicken because that's what she wants to eat.
Is
But
that the compromise that exists in marriage that does not exist in regular relationships? Is that a
I, it,
compromise?
you got to understand, I was never in a regular relationship. I got married, from the beginning. But if I mean, but it's vice versa. If I want to eat steak and my wife want to eat chicken, she'll say she want to eat chicken, and I'll say okay, well let's eat chicken. But then she'll say, well, what did you want to eat? And I would say I want to eat steak, and she'll say, well, let's get you a steak. And then I'll say no, but you want chicken. So we'll go around for a little while, but I'll kind of force her into getting chicken because that's what she wanted because I want to see her happy. That's my duty as the man and father of this clan over here. My duty is to make everybody in this household happy.
Mm. Wow, you don't hear that a lot online. Here's a question. What is the signs a person is truly ready for marriage? Because like that sounds like you have to be able to like say, you know what, I want steak, but you want chicken? Let's go ahead and get some chicken. I love you, and I'm gonna go ahead and forgo my steak for your chicken.
Like as stated from the beginning, you just have to like your partner. I mean, if you there are certain I watch a lot of YouTube and I saw this. It's a clan of vampires in Houston and one in New Orleans where these people say that they vampires and they going around sucking each other blood. Most of the time it's a woman and she got her a man and the man let her suck his blood. And I brought that up to my wife one day. I said, you see, men, if a man like you, he'll do whatever you want him to do. He just gotta like you. So if you got a man who's not doing this type of, who's not like being selfless for you, that's because you like him more than he like you. But everybody has a person in the world I would like to believe that they are just head over heels for. You may not have found that person yet, but that person's out there.
So you're saying being selfless is a huge part of a true marriage.
Yes, you have to be selfless in a marriage,
Wow. And
especially.
explain that. Why?
I have a wife and 2 kids, so I try to put myself last, whatever they want. My son eat McDonald's every day, so sometimes I override him and say, "No, we just had that, man. Come on." But
Oh, that's interesting. Like, so most of these guys right now be like, be single. "Well, she ain't cooking. She ain't doing this. She ain't doing that. You shouldn't." I mean, you'll hear so many things like, okay, the woman ain't doing this, the woman ain't doing that, she ain't cooking, but if she's busy like your wife is, she probably ain't got time to like be cooking
she
everything.
don't, and she still makes time. That's why I love her so much. She still makes time to do all that. The same as me. I work a full-time job. I might put in 50 hours a week at my job. I still have to keep up all these acres around me. I still have to chop that wood. Still have to go outside and play catch with my son. I still have to find time to counsel my daughter because she's entering into one of the the hardest stages of life, leaving high school, going into college, on the precipice of adulthood. So I still have to make time for all these people, the same as my wife, but we're working hard together. And as long as we work hard together, the only people that that I mean, there's nothing bad that'll come out of the children reap the benefit of both of us working together.
What is healthy masculinity in a relationship? Because nowadays with the red pill movement, you hear a lot of men like trying to discuss these roles. You know, alpha man, alpha and beta and simp and all these different words. What in your view is a healthy masculine partner?
So I feel that I have healthy masculinity. Uh, as stated, I've told you everything I did around the house. I mean, it's masculine stuff. I've met women who said that I was a chauvinist, though, just based on that they were not the type of woman to cook or clean or do that type of stuff. Uh, yeah, so I mean, it's based on who you're speaking with. Um, Living out here in the rural area, though, the rural area will bring out gender roles. I mean, you can find.
Yeah, you know what? Make good sense.
I
It will
mean,
force you into a gender role. Because hell, I'm not going out
yeah,
there grabbing a snake up off the thing. It makes you a woman rest in her femininity because you you got to like, okay, I'm not fixing to do that.
so I talk to my buddies about this. Uh, you have certain people that live in cities. You know, we I saw like a lot of those videos on YouTube about the stud culture with the studs and stuff. Nothing against my stud ladies. I just feel that if they lived where I live, yeah, where they had to actually perform as a man, you know, it may change their view of what manhood is.
Right, right, exactly. It's like they both up there jumping on top of the counter, like, oh, what's that? Yeah, it's a spider. Oh,
Yeah,
they
I mean,
both scared.
if you're a married guy with two kids and a big rattlesnake comes across your back porch, you can't tell your wife to get it. Your kids ain't gonna get it. It rests upon you. You got to be a man and go get it. But it's
Exactly.
when the winter comes, you got to chop those cords of wood. You got to get out there. You got to chop all that wood with that axe in the
Right.
cold. You got to do that. Look.
So here's the thing. Did you have trauma going into this bond trauma? I mean, and why do some people confuse trauma bonds with love? Did you guys have any trauma growing up individually that you guys had to get around being married that quickly and at that
Yeah,
age?
just growing up in America, you'll have trauma. I don't know anyone that does not have trauma. You know, uh, my daughter lives a great life. We've provided a great life for her, and at times she gets sad with her friend group at school and things of that nature. That creates trauma in the future. She might enter into a friendship with someone and recall how someone in her past treated her, and it may cause some type of friction in her new relationship. So trauma is everywhere. What we must do is own our own traumas and don't throw them up on other people. You know, Own your own crazy. I know what my crazy is, and I'm not gonna give it to you. You know,
Man, interesting. So uh hold on, I was gonna ask you. All right, hold on. I gotta go. So should people discuss finances? Because you said that at the time when you met your wife, you didn't have no money. How important is finances, purpose, and life goals early in dating?
depends on where you are in life. I was at the beginning. I was 20 years old. My wife was 21. We both didn't have anything, so everything that we gathered, we built together. You know, we live really well. We live in a 3,400 square foot house out on 2.5 acres. Um, and we built this together. I didn't bring it to the table, and she didn't either. However, if I would have been 40 years old and met her, and I had a home and she didn't, then I would have to make the choice to accept her not bringing. I mean, what would she be able to bring to the table? You know, I mean,
I hear a lot of that. What you bring to the table.
yeah,
Men will say that. What do you bring to the table?
it's human. I mean, it's human. The human condition. If we're supposed to be in a symbiotic relationship, then you have to bring something to the table as well as I do, unless the relationship becomes parasitic, and those never last. If I got you just because you was pretty, but I had some money and you didn't have anything, uh, let's say you got upset with me, and then you started to, display some type of attitude. Well, then, that's gonna upset me because I'm the one that's providing your lifestyle. So
Hmm.
that'll bring, that's friction within itself. You know, you have to find someone you're equally yoked with, as far as financial, the financial goes. I mean, unless you're marrying Mother Teresa, if you get with somebody who is way more financially sound than you, then you're going to be a second class citizen in the relationship.
Hmm. And so, what do you think about sexual discipline? I mean, you said that you guys married after 5 days. Did y'all like wait that whole time, that little 5 days? Y'all wait until y'all got married to have sex, or how important is sexual discipline in building long term relationships?
Okay. So I believe that you should wait to marry before you have sex. I didn't do that. Um, but that being said, I wasn't out here a whoremonger. I can count on one hand the amount of people I had sex with before marriage. I was only 20, and I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18 years old. I grew up in a very conservative household. Now, those 2 years that I was an adult without my parents, I went crazy. But I mean, everybody has a childhood, like an adolescence. That was my adolescence between 18 and 20. But after 20, I got married, and I've been chased ever since. Um, I don't believe in hypersexuality. Uh, you must control your sexual urges. When you have sexual urges, you should speak with your spouse in order to, you know, cure yourself of those urges. You shouldn't ever go outside of your relationship. With that being said, your spouse has to be receptive to your urges and have to understand that that's a biological function. As a man, men have to have that in order to to be sane, I guess, So you want to pick a partner who who won't hold out on you.
So, do you believe God sends the one, or is relationship success more about wisdom and compatibility?
I didn't hear you. Broke up.
Do you believe that God sends the one, or is relationship success more about wisdom and compatibility?
No, I believe that when when God is ready for you to meet your spouse will come in front of you and your spouse will be compatible with you.
Mm, okay.
I believe
What?
everyone has a destiny.
Right. We're getting into African spirituality now. Like destiny. Like, okay. So, what about like astrological signs? Do you believe in those?
Uh, I don't study them. I'm not well abreast on them. I'm. I believe that. All of this is spiritual. So, astrological signs, the way that the stars align with the planet, the light and dark patterns of the universe, the way that the moon pulls on the water on the earth, and water makes up the human body and controls emotions and things of that nature. I do believe that there is there. I mean, it's. I don't believe it's a pseudoscience by any means. I just don't.
So, do you have like an aspect of that in your app, like astrological sign, like a
I
Cancer
believe my
versus?
wife added that to it, where you can put if you're like a Sagittarius or Capricorn, things of that nature. find compatible matches based on your astrological signs in certain spiritualities, though. I don't think, like, if you go in as a Christian, I don't think you'll receive that prompt.
Oh, so you guys have like thought about everything on this whole thing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, what is one hard truth about modern dating that people avoid talking about?
Uh, what is one hard truth about modern dating? Um, People aren't dating to get married anymore. They're dating to hook up.
That's a good point. They're dating to hook up. Exactly. What qualities make a relationship truly kingdom aligned, spiritually aligned, or purpose driven?
Selflessness.
Selflessness.
Yes.
Well, so what made you passionate personally about helping people find meaningful relationships?
I have my wife has friends and I have friends and they're looking for love and they're having a hard time finding it. I've been told that the dating pool has pee in it. That was quite entertaining to me when I first heard that used like that. But and they come to us and they ask us, how did you guys do it? How do you guys stay together? And I first tell them, well, we got married before the age of social media. Second, we genuinely like each other. And if you genuinely like each other, you're going to do whatever it takes to keep the other person happy.
So, I wanted to like get a little bit into the app. So I wanted to show some of the app and what you guys got going on because I think it's pretty awesome. So let's like go into the app and show some of the things that are going on with the app. So when you go on to the app, you have like this prompt, which goes right into it. Spiritual matching. Okay, so a sacred space for earth-based and spiritual communities to find aligned intentional love. So you can choose between if you spiritual meaning, intentional love, begin your journey, and then you go in and they ask you certain questions, your date of birth, and it goes into it. So excuse me, I'll put my date of birth in so you can see how the whole thing goes. I'm old. wait, 20. Let's see. 1977. All right. So I'm 18 or older. Yes, and I agree. So let's see some of the things. So you take a live selfie, you upload a photo and government ID. So you have to like put your ID in and stuff like that to make sure that you're really
Yeah,
before
that
you
you're a verified user. So so we have two tiers. You can get matches for people that are not verified users, or you can get matches from people that are verified users. So verified users we know to be, a bot, not non bots, things of that nature. Uh, Actual people, because from what I hear, you have some people jump on these websites and they set up profiles, fake profiles, and things of that nature. So we're trying to shy away from, all of that by getting people to verify themselves, take a picture of yourself to show us that you're a real person.
Okay. So yeah, so I that's about as far as I can go before I like make my profile, which I will do because I'm dating and I'm so let's hear the thing. So what are some practical steps singles can take, today to prepare for a healthy love?
So realize everyone does not think the way you do. Take accountability for your actions and find someone who's compatible with you, someone that you like, that you genuinely find attractive, and you can have a conversation with. And in that conversation, you guys can speak about what are your hard no's. And if you guys agree upon what your hard no's are, and you find that person attractive, marry that person just like I did. No need to
Right.
date.
No, like right. Look, you're saying like bump the dating. Just go right into marriage.
Yeah, I mean, what are we dating for? We're dating to marry. We should be, unless
We should be dating to
yeah.
marry. Exactly.
So if I like you and you like me, and you're a good person, and you're not gonna do me bad, and I'm not gonna do you bad, why shouldn't we marry each other?
Good question. So for someone watching who was almost giving up on love, what would you say to them?
Don't give up on love. Go to divinedate.com and the good Lord gonna bless you.
So let's give some final thoughts and then we're gonna wrap this up. Much love to divinedate.com. It's a great app and I'm going to be joining myself. So if anybody's interested in me, go ahead and join too and hit me up. But give some final thoughts. Much love. And I appreciate this app that you're doing. It's really awesome.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for having me on. Thank you guys for watching me today. If you have any questions, you can go to divine-date.com and you can send me an email, or you can visit me on Facebook at Olusoga O Aralola and send me a message on Facebook and I'll respond to you as quickly as possible. Thank you guys again.
Hold on, let me put this up here before we go. Olusoga O Aralola. So if you can't reach him on a divine date, because I know that it goes straight to it goes
Aralola. LOLA.
Aralola.
Correct.
Aralola. Sorry about that.
No worries.
All right. So if you guys have any questions on the app, or if you try to get on, have any issues, hit him up. But Divine Date. How many people are on there so far now?
I'm not sure. I got to go upstairs and ask my wife. She's been manning it all day, but she says we have quite a few people on there.
Okay. All right. So it's a new app. It's building its thing. Please go ahead.
At lunch today. But we have more than enough people to find matches for anyone who would like to join today.
Amen. So let's go ahead and support his app. Much love to this couple who has created this app for people that want to date divinely. He explained how to date divinely. Much love to Araloga and his wife. Much love. Peace.
Bye.
Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah. See if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place.